ago, giving the land to Chinese to build an fishing harbor. So the Chinese is there. I was born there, grew up there. Yeah. So the children that I'm talking about, they are from here. We don't want them to be on the street. So we decided to put them somewhere and giving them education.
They just give this land.
Yes.
Did they sell it or they just give it out?
They sell it for them. They have no compensation. Moving 17,000 people out of here. The poor people, which is very bad. And you can see the white building far distance. That's Christiansburg. Belongs to the Danes. So that's Danish Accra. And the arch over there is Independence Square. Ghana got independent in 1957. The fish, yes, the fishermen that you can see, they just arrived.
Hi Unity family, we're back again on the AfricaUnity platform. My name is KingIdris and I'm here to give you guys the new insight on what is going on the home ground in Africa and international community. My people, today will be talking about the African diaspora and the impact and the developmental impact they can make to Africa if they follow the process of land ownership in Africa, because it's very, very essential, it's very, very important for them to own something in Africa. It's not just for them to come and go, they have to own a lot of stuff in Africa, because a lot of people that does not have no attachment, they don't have no relationship with Africa, own a lot of stuff in Africa. I'm talking of people like people from China, a lot of people from Europe, a lot of people from Europe, and a lot of people too from Australia own a lot of lands, then own a lot of investment in Africa. The Africa diaspora of developing countries around the world can be potent force for developmental growth in Africa on their own home ground to their country of origin in Africa through remittance of a lot of assistance, but also importantly through promotions of trade and investment, researches, innovations, and knowledge of technological transfers. I'm talking of knowledge of technologies. They can really assist a lot of African children in this area, because most of the developing world really have a lot they have already taught them. They have a lot of developmental achievement they have already acquired in their prominent field in the Western countries, or where they reside, the place they're be situated at. So the African diaspora need to do a lot of jobs in Africa, because African diasporas from Zambia, my people, they have their own personal right to lands in Africa. African diasporans from Nigeria, they have their personal right to lands in Africa. Also African diasporans that have already traced their heritage back to any country in Africa. I'm talking of out of the 54 countries like Gabon, like Gambia, like Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Guinea-Conakry, Angola, Tanzania, Egypt, Malawi, anywhere in Africa. You're talking about in the northern side of Africa or the western side of Africa, they have their own personal right to lands in Africa, because if you own businesses in Africa and investment in Africa, a lot of African children are going to benefit for this innovation on the home ground in Africa. That's the reason why we need you guys. We need a lot of you guys, because the main professionals that can easily relate to our children in Africa, to teach them a lot of prolific stuff around the world, because African children need a lot, my people. They need a lot. They have the fast growing children in the whole wide world. A lot of people really understand is that in future the next generation of rich people will be coming out of Africa. They have already made this research and they have already made it viral. A lot of prominent people around the world knows about this truth, because in future it will be the time for the African children, like it's the time for African children if we talk about Afrobeat music. That's the reason why a lot of people around the world truly knows about Afrobeat music, because on my platform is all about unification for all African children. I talked about unity, I talked about togetherness, I talked about oneness for the African children, because we need to talk our own story, we need to make impact on our own ground in Africa. It's not like the foreign media companies that will come and speak or say our own story or show our own story to the wider population in the world, because there's a lot of false narration, there's a lot of lies that are told about Africa. That is the main reason the African diasporans used to think twice before they come to Africa. If they don't own nothing in Africa, tell me how did they want to benefit a lot of opportunities that Africa have to offer. A lot of Chinese immigrants, I'll call them immigrants, I'll call them foreigners, a lot of Chinese foreigners owns a lot of land in Africa. So African people, African diasporans need to come back home. They need to own a lot. Even the African Americans in America can't even have no right. They can't even own nothing. None of the basketballers in America own a basketball team. None of the basketballers, the African American basketballers, own a basketball team in America. Not in Europe. I've never seen no basketball player own nothing in Europe or in the NBA or in the Europe NBA. Even in Africa, I've never seen none of America basketballer in the rate they made that huge money. Just Michael Jordan himself make almost $20 million for American government year in, year out, every year, while he was playing for the Chicago Bulls. So this is what I'm saying, with the multitude numbers of African American playing basketball, which they say is the most expensive sport in the world, I've never seen none of them own a basketball team. And in a lot of ways too, in the area of baseball, Jackie Robinson, the prolific famous baseball player, want to own property in this sport, and they deny this brother. He even reached out to Bill Gates. Bill Gates says, if you want to get this, I'm going to get it 9 times higher than you want to get it. So they don't want him to get it. It's like they're trying to tell us there's no space for the African America in America and in Europe. So my people, if there's no space over there, why can't we just come back home? There's a lot of opportunities, in Africa for you guys, my people. There's a lot of benefits. Your children are going to own a lot of stuff. I'm telling you, my people, there's a lot of business opportunities you can achieve. If it's even rural area, like new upcoming developing sites, you can invest. A lot of companies, a lot of African children can benefit from this opportunity, because there is no how the way the African diasporans do something, or the way they will come to Africa to invest, will be very, very different to any other foreigners that will be coming from the Asian community. I'm talking about like Chinese, like Indian people that used to come and settle down in Africa, like people from Austria, like people from Australia, and a lot of people from Netherlands too. There's no how they want to understand us like our own people that they look like us. We have the same style, we have the same swag, we have the same struggle, and we have the same history that is attached together. So there's no how our children are going to understand us more. The African diasporans are going to understand the people on the home ground, on the African ground, on the Africa home ground. They're going to understand us more, because we share a lot of similarities, and we share a lot of heritage together as African people, as black people coming out of Africa. So the African diaspora should come back home, and there's a lot of opportunity, and they should own land. The new initiative from Ghana government is a big win. It's a big win that they need to look into. They need to come into this and take advantage of this opportunity that is being presented by the Ghana president of the day, President Akufo-Addo Dankwa. So my people, I just came out to give you guys this quick insight, you know, to deliberate and to talk about these opportunities, to talk about this land opportunity in Africa, in West Africa, in all of the African countries too. There's a lot of opportunities of land opportunities. Every African American, every African diaspora have their opportunity. They are entitled to land in Africa. So my people, I've come to an end of the segment today. Just a quick one. It just came out to give you guys the insight about land opportunity in Africa. And most of the African Americans should take advantage of the year of return in Ghana. So my people, I'll be saying one Africa, one people, one unity. Unity over division. Thank you, Unity family. Thank you, my people. One love.